Okay, welcome all of you back to the International Marketing Strategy classes. In the last class, we have discussed two aspects in international marketing. Those are major participants and underlying forces. So, going forward, we are going to talk about today's class. In today's class, we are going to talk about challenges of international marketing and also opportunities of international marketing. Okay, both are quite interesting and important topics. Let us see what are those topics and let us discuss in depth. Okay. So in this slide, I have given you all the challenges which are faced by an international company in the international market. Okay. So the first one being self-reference criterion, market difference, political and legal differences, cultural differences, economic differences, language differences, infrastructure differences, or marketing myopia. Okay, these are the things. Let us discuss this one by one to understand how this can become an marketing challenge. Okay, so let us discuss this uh, factors one by one, how they are becoming challenges in doing international business or international marketing. Okay, the first one would be self-reference criterion. So what it says, let us see. What do you mean by self-reference criterion? First, we have to understand this. So, self-reference criterion is a reference to one's own culture. Okay, so this is similar when you have studied about ethnocentric approach in EPRG approach. So, it is little bit similar. Not little bit. It is almost similar to ethnocentric approach, where the culture of a country, their values will be, consciously or unconsciously, we will refer to those cultural values, and we will think that other people are also of a having a same value or a same culture, so that we will consider our own culture, where the company is there, so that is the best culture we have. Okay, like that, considering that our culture is a superior culture, or our culture is generally can be accepted by the other people also. So what the companies will do, they will do some mistakes in doing business in foreign countries, because every country is having a different kind of culture, different kind of societal background, different educational level, different kind of knowledge. So that's why we should not generalize that our cultural values can be implemented in the other countries cultural value also. So for this, there is a case where we can uh, check this example. So I've given here in self-reference criterion example. It's a Oreo biscuits, right? Oreo. It's a craft food company's brand, that is Oreo. So this Oreo, what they have done in 1996, they have launched their first entered into the market, Chinese market. Okay, so this Oreo is like the dark color outside is a kind of coffee taste, the chocolate bitter taste it is having, and the inside the white creamy. What you see, it is a sweet, right? Uh, what they think the thought is Oreo people, that even anywhere it is accepted, that kind of taste is accepted, but Chinese did not accept that kind of taste, like bitter and sweet mixture taste. So it has become a flop in the initial days, and it is like turn some click something is there, no, in Oreo slogan. uh, that slogan uh, has didn't worked here. Okay, turn lick, turn twist and lick something is there, no? Oreo's thing is turn, twist and lick. So that did not work in Chinese market. They didn't like the taste of this and the color combination. they have not welcomed its product in the China market. So that's why what that Oreo has. So Oreo cannot, take as a cultural background that if we are liking our country, people are liking this product in other country also they'll accept this. So they have in the later stage they have to change the shape. See this kind of chopstick uh, stick style of biscuits, and they have mixture the flavors, orange, you know, some kind of other flavors with through strawberry, all these flavors and different shapes and size. They have to launch the that product, relaunch that product in the Chinese market. So that's why we should not, have a self-reference to our country. If we have such self-reference, we will face the companies would face the same fate as Oreo has faced. So that those kind of uh, product are not welcomed in all the countries. What we think is which would be welcomed in every country. It is not true. So every culture is different. Every habit, countries people habit, taste, preference are different from each other. So when it is different means we have to accordingly we have to modify the product. We have to launch the product. We should not make our think that our culture what we are following is a superior culture, or the people would accept the product however it is in our country. Okay, so next point is market differences. Okay, so market differences is across the national borders, we can cultural boundaries. So there would be a different kind of markets we can see. Okay, do you know I've given here one example, one case of Unilever. When Unilever was launching in Brazil, Brazil is an lower economic country. So there they have to make the segmentation product position differently for this for the Brazil consumers. Okay, because even in India, if you see, a bottle of shampoo would not be preferred, but we prefer a sachet of 1 rupee, 2 rupee, and we will prefer soaps, detergent soap than the detergent powder, because detergent soaps are widely used. Likewise, in Brazil, if you compare that to India, it is the same case. So, like detergent soaps are preferred in India than the detergent powder, right? Because detergent powder is used in washing machines. Major of our economy is lower economy, that so people don't have washing machine in their houses, but everybody uses the detergent bars. So the same thing if you apply into Brazil's economy, it is the same thing. Like they used to prefer a detergent bars, a small quantity unit of products like shampoo sachets, small amount of coffee packet sachets. So the Brazil, what they have done, understanding the differences of market segment and product positioning, and the preference of marketing mix, like how the price should be there. A sachet, maybe we get it in a 1 rupee sachet, 2 rupee sachet, but when you go to buy a bottle of shampoo, it would cost you 150 rupees, 180 rupees. Right, what we think is instead of buying 180 rupees, 150 rupees, whenever we have a money, we will buy by giving a small unit of money, that is 1 rupee, 2 rupee, would not make us a difference. Right, so that is how they have changed the price mix and they have positioned those products. Okay, so this is the one major challenge which we have to accept, that if you're in your domestic company, if you're like Unilever is a UK company, right? So there is an economic position is a different, and here it is a different in Brazil, or other developing countries it is different. So what they has to do, they have to do according to they have to change the product mix. Okay, pricing, promotion, packaging, they have to change, and they have to accept the differences in the market. Okay, what are the needs and what is the demand, like how much can they purchase, according to that we have to the companies has to change that. Okay, next one is political and legal difference. Students, in to talking before political and legal difference, this is an macroeconomical factor which always affect the domestic business as well as the international business, right? we have studied this in our junior classes about how political and legal aspects will affect the business. In international business also, it is no escape for the in any company which faces the political and legal differences in the foreign markets. When you want to enter to a company, a country to do your business, so you have to analyze, scrutinize the political and legal aspects of that country, and you have to enter. Like I have given a list of things here. What could be uh, aspects, some of the aspects. Now I have not listed everything here. I have listed some of the important aspects like level of bureaucracy, okay, authoritative, or it is in participative. What kind of bureaucracy it is having a country? Okay, so what is the corruption level in a country? Whether everything is not fair and equitable. Okay, you have to pay the bribe to get your files moved. Your every business decisions, everything should go legalized way. So to do that, we have sometimes in some countries, corruption is, they have to face this kind of problem. Okay, stability, whether the government is stable or not, for the how many tenures of government should be there. Like cyclical nature means, say for example, India, it is 5 years elections, right? US it is for 5 years election. So like that, what is the cyclic? Because whenever the one political party comes to an get elected and it forms a government, the policies will change. Again, the next government will come and the policies will modify. So because of that, fear, the international business, the international companies will be looking for the stability in the government. So how long the government is staying. So when in recent time, if you see Indian government or political system, that we are seeing this stability. Like in the last uh, tenure, for 10 years the government did not change. For the two tenures the government was there. Again, in this scenario also, we have a second tenure running for the same government, right? So, like Manmohan Singh ji ruled for 10 years. Again, Modi ji is going to be, he has chosen for a second term. So, this is how the stability of the government will be seen. If the government is stable, then the policies will be stable. The policies would not modify more oftenly. So, that will make the any international company to make business easily, because they understand the legals and policies. So that policy will be applicable for the longer term. Okay, then what is the private and government owned companies? Like how we say the public sectors, like how we have mini ratnas, navaratnas. Those are all the public sector companies, right? What are the public sector companies? How much government is having stake in the corporate, like Chinese government and all? They have the major stake in the all corporates. Okay, those are the government and corporate. So that kind of government stake if you have, then how they'll be benefited to our corporate style, or private corporate to enter into the particular countries like China, and all. So they have to think about it. Okay, it is easy to enter in the market where we have to compete only a private corporates. When it comes to a matter of government corporate, it has become difficult for any company to compete in that market. Next up, role and constitutional legal documentation, uh, regulation, deregulation, social environmental policies, import export restriction, tax free zone, economic zones. So these are the some exim policies, what we say, environmental policies, ecological policies. These are the some of the important legal aspects which everybody has to face the challenge about. Okay, in coming classes, when we are discussing about the environment, we will discuss about this, more specifically and more deeply. So I'm just going to over this, like how the regulations of a government and how policies kind of, pollution policies or other environmental policies, what are the trade controls, import export restriction, economic zones, tax benefits, okay, tax restrictions. So these are the things which can be a challenge to international business. Okay, next one is cultural difference, a very important one. And it is majorly the current companies will fail in differentiating the culture. Like I was giving the McDonald's example. So we have to see the what kind of education level where they have, what, how many religions which is operating in that country, or what is the religion of the country where we are operating, what is their ethical values, so that what kind of products are we cannot sell in the particular country, because that would be an unethical or a religious aspect or any social status aspect. So we cannot blindly go and do business in any organization, right? Like in the Muslim religious countries, the liquor is banned. We cannot do a business with the liquor there. So something like that we have to think about before doing the business. Okay, so that this will help us in our marketing mix, in deciding about the packaging, product line expansion. So we have to take care of the cultural differences, maybe it's a material culture or the language or the education level or the religion or the social background of the company. We cannot come to India and say that uh, uh, your economy will be better if you stay without your parents, or you if you stay in nuclear family. That will affect the ethical values and social system of our country, right? So we have to avoid giving some advertisement or promoting products which may affect the feelings, may hurt the feelings of the social society of the country, or a religious or cultural values. Okay, next one is economic difference. So economic difference, I was talking about developed country and developing countries, like, so when any developed countries company is entering to the developing countries company, or any other company, any other country, say developed to develop, so they have to think about what is the growth of the economy, say whether a country is developed or a developing country, what kind of product can be affordable by them. Okay, what is the rate of interest, if we are doing in a business in a country, what is the rate of interest, what is the level of inflation it is having, exchange rate, currency exchange rates. Okay, so how much a purchasing power of people in that country. So we can see the recent days, we can see the many brands are coming to India because it is developing economy. People can purchase the things right now. I was giving example of Starbucks and IKEA. So those brands came to India because they felt that this is the right time to enter India, because it is a developing country. The people can afford our products, right? They have a disposable income to spend on it. Okay, so then the inflation is stable inflation rate. So have a good exchanging rate. There is no much fluctuation in our currency. So all this banking regulations, okay, investment regulations. So this all comes under the economic differences. Okay, so before entering into the any country's market, we have to analyze the economic aspects. Okay, this is one of the major challenge. Language difference. Okay, so I have given here example for KFC. Okay, Kentucky Fried Chicken. So what is the tagline of that? Finger licking good, right? Finger licking good is a tagline of KFC. When it entered the China market, if you translate this finger licking good into Chinese language, it says that eat your fingers off. Okay, eat your fingers off. Okay, so this is the language difference. Whenever you are doing business, uh, entering any market, you have to take care of the differences of the language, the meaning of the language. And we can see that many countries will prefer their local language branding, local language packaging. Okay, because they can read it. uh, when there are more illiterate people, or the education level is less. So in such countries, we cannot go with the universal English language packaging. We have to go with the local language packaging, and we have to think about our brand names, our logo names, what kind of logo it may affect, or what kind of translation could affect our uh, you know uh, taglines. So we have to think about the language differences. Okay. uh, Many times, they have fancied the Indian gods in some cloths, and having a om or swastik tattoos on their clothing, or sandals sometimes in footwear. So it has created a huge mistake, having a footwear symbol, the om. Uh, like it is a it has hurt the feelings of Indians, like their cultural values are hurt, got hurt. So we have to think before doing such kind of decisions in packaging and in advertising especially. Okay. And using certain kind of symbols where it is not allowed to use. Okay. So we have to think about it. Okay. Next one is infrastructure differences. Okay. So again, it will be in developed country, it is easy to do business because there is a developed infrastructure, a good infrastructure not only means a transportation, it also means the communication technology, electronics. Okay. Your road transport. Okay. All this comes under the infrastructure facilities. Okay. So we have to think about the infrastructure facilities before going to the cost which is incurred. Okay. So what is the nature of the facilities available there in the different countries. Okay. Say for example, if you want to advertise advertising medium, which is very effective. Okay. A TV advertisement is very effective, you see. But in certain countries, they have only 3 to 4 channels. Okay. It is not like in India we have 1,000 channels, or in US we have 1,000 channels. In some countries they have only 4 channels restricted. So what if you choose a TV media advertisement? Okay. There it might be a print media advertisement, might be a effective advertisement thing, or a billboarding. uh, those kind of advertisement would be a better advertisement media. So that's why I was saying, uh, we have to think about the infrastructure uh, facility. Okay. before Before entering into any international market, how infrastructure also make a major contribution in deciding. Okay. The next one is marketing myopia. So what is marketing myopia? Myopia is a new word. It matters which means that short sightedness. Okay. When management myopia, you might have heard. Management myopia means when management fails to do a long-term plan. It fails to look for the long-term opportunity. Strategically, it is lacking the vision or a mission. So that is called as management myopia. Okay. When it is only looking for, and it is seizing its opportunity to only a short term, it is called as management myopia. But if you apply that into a marketing, it will be a short-sighted and inward-looking approach of marketing. Okay. It is like we are not looking up in a broader sense. We are looking very narrowly. It focuses on the needs of the company instead of defining the company and its product terms and consumer needs. So in marketing myopia, what they are doing, they are thinking about the needs of the company, not thinking about the needs and wants of the customer. Okay. So this is what it's talk about. So marketing myopia. Okay. Customers needs, it is not saying only company needs, it is saying. Okay. Focuses on the needs of the company, not the needs of the customer. So it is a short-sighted strategy they are using. Okay. It is a narrow strategy, we can say. They are not thinking it's in a broader way. So that's why it becomes a failure to adjust to the changes in the market. Okay, that is become marketing myopia. Example, you can say that everybody will aware of this, that Kodak cameras has lost a major share to Sony camera when digital camera they have launched. Kodak was still producing and marketing that cameras with reels that used to come. Even in a Nokia also has lost its market share. Nokia was the major brand during when the cell phones got entered the market. Nokia has the major share, but it has short sight in itself, and it did not recognize the use of Android, okay, or iOS. Okay. So Apple and Samsung entered with the this touch screen mobiles with the use of Android and iOS. Then the Nokia lost the world its major share in the world in the cell phone marketing. Uh, so this is about your um, challenges of international marketing. Okay, self-reference criterion, which means considering our culture as a and selling or marketing the products, goods or services, thinking that it will be widely accepted. How Oreo has made a mistake. Okay, market differences, how Unilever is selling these products in India, Brazil, and other developing countries in a different marketing mix and different product mix. Okay, like instead of giving a high priced big unit amount of unit of quantity of product, it is started selling a lesser costly and smaller unit of products. Okay, political and legal difference, we have to think about the tax, stability of the government, some restrictions, regulations, environmental regulations. Okay, what are the legal aspects of the and political aspect of the country before entering to that country. Cultural difference, okay, education level, societal background, okay, material culture, values, ethics. So we have to think about all those things before entering into any culture, like how McDonald's has done. Okay. Next is economic differences. In economic differences, we have to think about the purchase power of the people, whether they have a disposable income, what is the inflation rate, what is the currency fluctuation, what is the exchange rate they are having, what is the interest rate, okay, economic stability, what are the banking regulations. So we have to think about all those things before entering into any international market. Okay, then language difference. Okay, language difference. So we have to, when we are translating into any language, we have to think about the packaging of a product, okay, labeling of a product, tagline. Okay, so we have to think about the we cannot exactly translate the words. We can we should alter our taglines when we are entering into different countries. I have given you a KFC's example. Okay, next one is infrastructure differences. So we have to think about the communication, electronics, road transport, other like transportations, okay, facilities available. So we have to think about all those things. Okay, when because when if you see the logistics, if you don't have a air transportation, domestic air transportation more, for example, there is a less domestic air transportation, but road transportation is good like India. Okay, so the major products are supplied through the road transportation domestically. Okay, we don't have a air transportation, usage of air transportation much, because we think it is a costlier for a domestic business. Okay, so before entering countries like a major which have a geographically bigger countries like China, India, okay, Russia. So these are the geographically we are huge, right? So internal domestic, if an international company comes to an India and it want to transport from Delhi to Bangalore, say it has to travel 1,000 kilometers, more than 1,000 kilometers. So what kind of infrastructure facility, whether rail, road, or air, by air we have to transport our goods and services. So that one, and I was giving example of advertisement, whether it is a good to when choosing advertisement is an one example we can take here, whether to advertise in a digital platform or a print media. Okay, so that, like that marketing myopia, like it is narrowing its thinking, and it is thinking only for the short term, like how Nokia has done, how Kodak has done. So this is the one of the major challenges. So we have to, always open our thinking, keep our thinking open, that what are the opportunities would come in international marketing. We should not think about only domestic by seeing that okay, Philippines people are only good with this touch screen, only QWERTY mobiles or keypad kind of thing. It is not applicable into entire international marketing. Okay, people were ready for a touch screen mobiles and Android phones or iOS phones. So where it has failed, Nokia has failed. So these are the major challenges of international marketing. Okay, hope you have understood about all those things, and thank you for listening to me.